We have 6 trig functions, and we've talked about 2 of them. We've talked about sine, abbreviated SIN. We've talked about cosine, abbreviated COS. We also have tangent, abbreviated TAN. We have the reciprocals of each of those, which means that we have cosecant, abbreviated CSC, secant, abbreviated SEC, and cotangent, abbreviated COT. Now, in relation to the unit circle, these have specific definitions. You know that in the unit circle, we have a radius of 1, so radius equals 1. So the definition of sine is really the y value divided by r, but in the unit circle, r happens to be 1, so in the unit circle, sine is just the y value, the ordered pair. So if this ordered pair is 1, 0, the sine would be 0 and the cosine would be 1, because cosine is x over r, or just x in the unit circle. Now, tangent's definition is sine divided by cosine. So since sine is y and cosine is x in the unit circle, you take whatever the ordered pair is for sine and divide it by the x value or the cosine value. So let's just do a little example here. Let's say we had, on the unit circle, we had our 45 degrees, and remember it goes out and we have square root of 2 over 2 and square root of 2 over 2. So if we were going to find the 6 trig functions, we would have sine is the x value, so sine of the 45 degrees, or pi over 4 in radians, is square root of 2 over 2, because that's the y value. Cosine would also be square root of 2 over 2, because that's the x value. Tangent is y divided by x, and this is the same number. So any number divided by itself is just 1. So the tangent of 45 degrees, or pi over 4, is 1. And we could do that, if we did that with our fractions, we would have square root of 2 over 2 divided by square root of 2 over 2. When we divide with fractions, we flip the 1 on the right and we multiply. And then, you know, everything cancels out. So that's where the 1 is coming from. So the other 3 are reciprocals. So whatever you have for sine, you flip it. So the sine of the 45 degrees we said was square root of 2 over 2. And if we flip that, that would give us cosecant. So cosecant of the 45 degrees is 2 over square root of 2. Can't have a radical in the bottom most of the time, so we rationalize. And we get 2 square root of 2 over 2. And that's our cosecant. So for secant, it's also the reciprocal of this same thing. So we end up with this same thing for our secant, which is the reciprocal of the cosine. Let's see, let's do tangent. For tangent, we got a 1. The reciprocal is cotangent. If I flip 1 over 1, I still get 1. So that's the 3 values, the 3 reciprocal values of the trig functions here. So let's do another one. Let's do one for, let's pull out our unit circle and do another one. Because your unit circle has all those, it has all those ordered pairs on it. So let's look at one of them so that you can see what we're talking about. Let's say we go over on our unit circle and we see, I don't know, 2 pi over 3. And we see the ordered pair for 2 pi over 3 as negative 1/2 and square root of 3 over 2. So if I want to find the 6 trig functions of 2 pi over 3, the sine is the y value, so this is the y value. The cosine is the x value. is the x value. The tangent is the y value divided by x. So I'd need to do a little work here. Square root of 3 over 2 divided by negative 1/2. I flip the 1 on the right. The 2's cancel, and I get negative square root of 3. So that would be my tangent. Now, if we did the reciprocal values, so the reciprocal of sine, remember, is cosecant. And if we go back up and we look, we got square root of 3 over 2 for our sine. So if I flip it, I get 2 over square root of 3. And if I rationalize by multiplying both the top and the bottom by the radical, I get 2 square root of 3 over 3. So that would be the cosecant. If I do the reciprocal of the cosine, remember that that is secant. And for my cosine, if I go up and look, I got negative 1/2. So if I flip negative 1/2, I get negative 2. So that would be my secant. If I have tangent, which ended up being negative the square root of 3, negative the square root of 3 over 1, if I flip it, is negative 1 over square root of 3, and if I multiply by the radical, I get negative square root of 3 over 3. So that would be the cotangent. So this is how you find all 6 of those trig functions in relation to what I have on the unit circle.